We played quite well, and I think we had to score more goals. The difference between us and Fulham had to be bigger after the first half, but we were only 1-0 up. Then great chance just after halftime, and then you see two halves are never the same, and the game changes, and Fulham get better and better, get more dominant, great chances, get the equaliser, but then the last 10 minutes were again our side, and so I'm really happy with that resilience we have.
Players, they tried everything, the intensity they played, the belief they showed every time, more second half than the first one as well. I think we have to give credit to them. We have to give credit for all this, for the crowd as well, the way they lift us, and we push them in some moments of the game as well. The way we played, I think it's clear to them that we wanted to take more from the game, but many positives.
How big a moment is that for Alejandro Garnacho?
It's fantastic. First, he shows the mentality, what you need under stress. He's performing, he's coming in, he has an impact, he has the belief. I'm really happy that we can bring a young player up, and it shows when players deserve it, they get their chances.
He's a big talent, and he's starting to learn the things and the movements of the game. He's starting to know when to dribble and when to pass, and I think from now on he will only get better. And we will try to help him and push him in the right way when he works hard and really does his thing.
Erik, just tell us about those scenes at the end with the fans and the players on the pitch. Fantastic celebrations.
It's great, and I think we came from far this season with the fans, with this team, with this club, the togetherness, and now, it's back, and we have to keep that. We have to invest both sides, and the fans, and the players together, to a new United. We have to make a new history.
14 games, 26 points, 5th place. Do you think that's a good platform to build on, particularly after a really difficult start?
I think so, yeah. From the result, definitely, but also the process. You have to analyze the process, and then you see we're improving in a lot of skills during this first season half so far. But also realize we are not there where we want to be, and that we have to invest even more, and we have to work even more, everyone individual, but especially also as a team. And if we do that, we can achieve the ambitions we have.
As for the game today, we were 1-0 up in the first half. Do you think it should have been more comfortable by half-time?
Yeah, so that's a point of improvement. You have to kill the game when the moment is there. And in the first half, we created 3-4 big chances. Be fair, they had also 1-2 good chances. But the difference has to be 2 goals. So 3-1, that was a fair result on half-time. And then if you after half-time straight, you create another big chance with Elanga and a rebound from Marcus Rashford, and then you have to finish the game. And we didn't, and then they come back, and then you see games can change with small moments, and that happened tonight. It was also a mistake we make. It cannot be that the right side is that open, but the good thing is we show in the end the resilience and have the spirit to get the winning.
And you brought on Garnacho. What was your message to him? Did you hope he would produce some magic?
Yeah, clear. But magic, I like good football. I like good footballers, and he is one who can entertain. But in the end, it's about end product, and that is what he brings into the team. He had some good dribbles, maybe already a penalty moment, but in the end, he kept going. Great pass from Christian Eriksen. Great build up from the whole team, because I was really composed how we outplayed that. But the assist and the finish from Garnacho were really brilliant.
Yeah, a bit of composure about that finish, because it was didn't have a lot of time to think about it, and it was a lovely finish.
But I think the whole build-up structure to attack was composed and was really great, especially when you are in that stage of the game. Most of the times you see teams getting into a rush, making mistakes, but we stay composed and we build up from the back over that left side, and we finalize and win the game, and that is great feeling.
Finally, Erik, are you going to be able to have a bit of a break, at least after a very busy few months for you?
Yes, of course. You have to take the time when it's there, and we will do also to know that from I think the 23rd of December. We continue till May, and that is a long way. But also we have work to do. We have to analyze, but especially making plans and strategies how we continue.
Thanks very much. All the best.
Thanks.
Goal for United, a goal and a crucial assist as well. Not a bad day at the office.
No, that was one of the better ones. I think I felt like I've owed a few goals already, so it was nice to finally put one in, and the ugly goals, they count as well.
And that goal, I mean, you were involved in it earlier on in the move. It was a terrific move, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, I mean, that's what we do most of the time, the counter-attacks. We have a lot of space, a lot of speed, and good quality to finish it off. And yeah, I did see Bruno shoot, and I thought, yeah, if it's going to go on the other side, I'll be lucky to tap it in. But no, in the end, it was a good run in general.
It could have been more, couldn't it, at half-time? Some other good opportunities as well. It was I guess you were going to need that second goal.
Yeah, no, very much today. I think how the game went on. I think we should have scored goals earlier in the game to really kill it off and make it easier for ourselves. And like I said, first half, we had a lot of big chances to really go ahead before half time and get a breather. But yeah, we know second half with 1-0 lead here, it's going to be tough. And yeah, luckily in the end, Garnacho had a good run and we scored.
Well, I mean, you always expect to create a chance, but it didn't really seem to come in that second half. But did you lose faith? Did you think eventually we'd get an opportunity?
Yeah, no, I mean, I've been in the Premier League for so long, and that'll definitely be a big chance in one or the other end. It's just whoever gets there, and luckily we had the last chance of the game, and we finished it off.
So what about the young lad then? He showed a lot of composure there to finish like that.
Yeah, no, he's shown what his capability are. He's very direct, and he does well. He's starting to learn when to pass, when to dribble, which is getting there. So it really is he's a big talent. So hopefully he'll continue his journey, and then it'll probably be fun to see him in the future.
And what about those scenes of celebration? Obviously the goal was at the end where the United fans were, and they've stayed behind for a long time after the game. Terrific scenes at the end. Yeah,
no, of course you want to finish as good as possible just before this break, and I think they felt the same. They know there's no more games for a long time now for club football. So of course it's a good win, it's a good finish, a good feeling to go off on at the World Cup. So no, it was a good night in the end.
And 26 points, 5th place after 14 games. Is that a good sort of platform to go into eventually the second half of the season?
Yeah, I think so. Of course, there's been ups and downs. There's been some losses, but you'll get that and you'll be disappointed. But I think in general, we're bounced back from the losses we've had and really taken another step. And yeah, in the end, I mean, also the ugly wins are very important in the Premier League. It's a long season, and you need all those points you can get. And yeah, and today we fought hard to get it. And yeah, it's a finish ending, lovely ending.
Finally, looking forward to the next 6 weeks. It's going to be a good experience, I guess.
Yeah, no, it will be. It will be. It's a World Cup. They don't come as often, so it's always tough to qualify. And now when you're qualified, it's going to be nice to play some football.
Good luck with it. Thank you very much.
Well, let's deal with the man who got the winner, shall we, Jermain? Because you think he gives United something just a little bit different.
Yeah, I mean, the young man, really impressive. You know, when he came on, just to inject a little bit of life into the Man United team. I felt like at that stage, you know, Fulham like the better team that would go on and win the game. You know, he came on the 72nd minute, was really direct in everything he did. He stayed wide here, as you can see, held the width. And as soon as he gets it, all he's thinking about is just how can I get into the box and make something happen. Gets inside, a little bit unlucky there, tries to get a penalty. Wasn't, stays wide again. You know, just that change of speed, you know, getting himself into the box, being direct again, comes inside, tries to make something happen again. But just his energy levels, you know, he gets it again here, drives with it, plays a 1-2, and just if you just see the change of speed there, and what really impressed me was the finish. For a young player that's 18 years old to, especially when you know, probably the last kick of the game, to show that sort of like calmness and composure in these sort of areas, to finish like that, you know, really impressed me as he come on.
As you say, it's that direct run rather than chopping inside and looking a bit different.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I felt like that substitution was needed at that stage in the game, and he's really impressed me. You know, he's someone with huge potential, but just so how direct he was, confident, and the goal, you know, his weaker foot, but how calm he was, like I just mentioned, you know, was really, really good.
He wasn't player of the match. That went to someone who could arguably be one of the signings of the season.
Yeah, I think so. Paulinho, this is his stats across all the top leagues, all 5 European leagues this season. 65 tackles, 38 won. That's the most of any player, not just midfield player, across Europe's 5 leagues. So it just shows kind of how aggressive his style of play is, but it also shows the type of player that Fulham have brought to the football club. And I agree with you, Chappers. I think that he's one of the signings of the season so far. He's been absolutely brilliant. And it's just little things like this, the details of kind of a midfield player, but being aggressive in the tackle. Not only does he have the ability when he wins all these tackles, but it's head up. Where can I play forward? And yeah, Fulham fans won't thank me for saying it, but he's a top player, and I think he's going to go on to big things. And I think off the back of what are you smiling out for? Off the back of this World Cup, look at this tackle here. He's nowhere near favourite to win.
Brilliant, this, isn't it?
And it's just, I mean, I'll be honest with you, if I'm Marcus Rashford, I'm jumping over the top of that as well. He's so aggressive in the way that he goes in and flies into the challenge. But I'm really looking forward to see what he does at the World Cup. With Portugal, he's come over from Lisbon. I think it was £20 million he's coming for. And every time I watch him, I love watching him play.
Manchester United had many chances, a bit like several games they've had this season. They're struggling to convert.
Yeah, and all it is small details. Of course, there has to be a tactical element, but at the same time, when you get chances, you have to be ruthless, you have to be killers. And I felt like today, they had chances. It could have been a different game if they were more ruthless. I mean, great one from Rashford here, and you see Martial in a picture there, and he gets himself in level, and I can't understand why he won't hit that first time. It's a case of slowing your feet down, and for me, I think you've got to take the chance. I think if you take another touch, I think the picture's gone. You make the chance a lot harder than it should be, which he did there, taking the extra touch. You see again here, he gets on the ball here, and I think this one's a little bit more difficult. I think it's a good save, to be honest. I think it's more of an instinctive finish. I think he just tries to go through the goalkeeper.
With more time, he'd do that, wouldn't he?
Yeah, I think so. But I think if you see he's stretching a little bit, tries to generate power, but it's a good save from the goalkeeper. Elanga does well, goes through here. It's a good save from the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper gets up quick. When I first watched it back, I thought, could he have done something a little bit cheeky, maybe dink the goalkeeper, but I think the goalkeeper makes it difficult. It's a good save, that's unlucky. This one's really interesting. On a counter-attack, Rashford does really well to travel that sort of distance. And what you want is, from your players in the box, you want someone to get across the near post, that Elanga does, and just to vacate that sort of area behind him. Eriksen at the back post, and Martial is really clever, because what he does is, people talk about movement, but sometimes best movement is standing still, which he does well. I think if the ball was a little bit better, maybe just pass a little bit softer so Martial can come and hit it first time. But I think for some reason Rashford lifts it off the ground a little bit and the chance is gone. So yeah, I mean, they got into some good areas, but just the small details.
It's really fine details and split-second decisions.
Yeah, and you speak about being ruthless in the final third and having killers. And yeah, I know a lot said about Ronaldo, but it's so difficult to watch that game and not think about Ronaldo. Maybe if he was playing, one of those chances might have been converted. It's hard to see past that.
Well, strange you should mention Ronaldo, who missed today because of illness, but has also done an interview with Piers Morgan. And I've got some of the quotes from the interview in front of us. Piers Morgan said to him, they're trying to force you out. Ronaldo says to Morgan, yes, not only the coach, but the other 2 or 3 guys that are around the club. Morgan says at senior executive level, and Ronaldo says, yes, I felt betrayed. Morgan says, you think they're trying to get rid of you? Ronaldo says, honestly, I shouldn't say that, I don't know, but listen, I don't care. People should listen. I feel betrayed, and I feel that some people don't want me here, not only this year, but last year too. Thoughts?
First of all, I'm totally baffled and confused as to why he's done this interview, if I'm totally honest with you. Today, the timing of it, I think it leads you to just how Cristiano Ronaldo is obviously feeling right now and how he's felt all season. We've seen nothing but almost petulance throughout the whole year, with the kind of like walking down a tunnel. Today, supposedly, well, he said he was ill on the sheet anyway. I don't know what's actually been reported, but now he's doing interviews with Piers Morgan. Look, he's a frustrated player, and I've said from day one, I think that the whole situation has been mismanaged by the club with Cristiano Ronaldo this year. And whether he feels lied to or not, today just don't feel right to me. It feels. I don't think it's going to help him with the Manchester United.
I think it's disappointing, to be honest. I mean, he's got nothing to prove. So I can't understand why he would want to put his point across. Maybe his ego's dented a little bit. I think it's a situation where he's not ever been in this situation before. And maybe he doesn't know how to handle it. But you'd like to think there's people around him that would say, you know, you don't have to do this.
He's done there now, isn't he? I mean, Erik Ten Hag can't, isn't he?
As a manager, I mean, I feel like Erik Ten Hag, where I do half kind of like with Ronaldo and what he's saying, he feels like he's been kind of like used a little bit in a way. He's like the black sheep. He's the kind of, you know, the one to kind of like throw the stick at. I do at times feel like with Ten Hag, it enables him to elevate his position at the football club when he treats Cristiano in a certain way. It enables to kind of get the dressing room to fall in line. But at the same time, you know, Ronaldo does have to behave in line with how the rest of the team does. But I do think if I was a manager, it makes sense for Ten Hag to. I mean, he can't play him now.
But Jay, you know,
he can't be involved in the team now.
I think he scored 20+ goals last season.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
So Ronaldo's probably thinking, well, actually, I was your top goal scorer last season, and he's thinking, I would do the same. So it is a funny situation, but really disappointing seeing that, to be honest.
Very odd day to do it as well when Garnacho gets the winner.
Yeah.
So if you ask Man United fans now, who would you be more worried about losing?
Oh no! Look, they are going to be looking forward to the future. They want Garnacho. They're never going to forget what Ronaldo's done for them. But at the same time, this young lad looks really exciting.
Yeah, he talks almost with a sense of relief. He says it's about time he scored for Manchester United. But that got the ball rolling, of course, as far as Ten Hag's side is concerned. But the headlines will be dominated by a certain 18-year-old, Alejandro Garnacho, who's already shown glimpses of a real talent and has probably announced his arrival today, is he not, Michael?
Yeah, you definitely say so. He's going to hit the headlines. Yeah. And, of course, just to be an 18-year-old in this squad, that says it all. You know, he's obviously got an awful lot of talent. We can't wait to see more of that in the Premier League over the coming years. He made an impact today. He came on. The first couple of times he ran at his man, it didn't quite come off, but he was brave enough to keep going, and this was a lovely goal. He just feeds it inside. Look how direct he is. He feeds it inside, continues his run, and he just strokes it into the corner. No panic whatsoever.
Even when I watch it now, I'm not quite sure how he gets on the end of it, because he seems like he's second best behind Deco-Reed, but he somehow shows a burst of acceleration, gets himself in there. But as we said, he's so direct. He knows exactly where he wants to go with the ball, whether he's running without the ball or running with the ball. But I really like the celebration. There's a touch of arrogance with the celebration, which I don't mind at all.
Yeah.
But I mean, as you said there, with the attributes that he's got, if his work rate and game obviously goes alongside his skill, then there's no reason how far he could go.
There's no fear about that guy right now. You could see almost in the way that he celebrates it.
That's the beauty of being 18. It's, if you could only bottle that all your life, no fear whatsoever. You go on there with like a cockiness and arrogance, and from now on, it's all what's going on between his ears. That's the thing now. He's obviously got the talent. He's obviously got the pace, the touch, the skill, the confidence. Now it's not getting carried away, and it's what's between his ears that's going to make the difference between whether he's just going to be a one-hit wonder or whether he can have a nice career in the game.
Now, you see, this is interesting. So he's already, of course, had an effect in the first team, 2 goals and 2 assists in his last 4 appearances. But there have been public quotes from Bruno Fernandes and Erik Ten Hag, his coach, talking about his attitude, how in pre-season he maybe arrived late on a couple of occasions, and that his attitude needed to improve. In a way, while it was questioned at the time, was it right to do that on a youngster? Will it serve him better in the long term?
I think it will serve him better. I mean, coming from the manager, I'd say, OK, fair enough.
Yeah.
I didn't quite like it when it came from Bruno, because I thought you've got to protect some of these young players, and I get it if there was something going on in pre-season, maybe keep that in-house, to let the senior players kind of deal with it. But the fact that the coach came out and said it, OK, you hold your hands up. But it will serve him in good stead, because everyone's seen the attributes, everyone's seen the quality that he's got moving forward onto the pitch. He can score goals, he can create. But it's about now getting on the training pitch, working hard, maybe kind of trying to, I know it's going to be hard playing for a club like Manchester United, but keeping a low profile, working hard, and let the rest take care of itself.
But, Michael, you don't want that to kind of raise its head again today of all days, because this is a moment where you should be talking about him positively, right?
Absolutely, yeah. No, and we are. I mean, it's a big worry, though. You know, it's a big worry at 18, and the manager has already come out publicly. Bruno has come out publicly and spoken about attitude. I mean, that should be ironed out right away. I know in the Manchester United dressing room that I was in, it would be ironed out, and previous years. So I just hope this dressing room, which I think it would be strong enough to deal with it internally, as Dan says. It is quite worrying that that's been put out in the open, but hopefully he is, you know, He's got the intelligence and he's got the know-how to listen to people in experienced places and people that have been there and seen it and done it before.
But it feels like, you know, when you hear what Erik ten Hag inherited, how he's addressed certain parts of that dressing room, he's a disciplinarian. So maybe he's got the right head coach to deal with things.
Well, he has to. I think it's a massive job, and I know he was in charge of Ajax, but listen, there's a big difference between Manchester United and Ajax. Manchester United are trying to get back to where they feel they should be, and he's going to have to make big decisions. He's done that already this season. The likes of Ronaldo, the Maguire situation, he's had to make big decisions in such a short space of time. But if you look at the progression that Manchester United are showing and where they're trying to get to, you'd have to say they're making steps in the right direction. So rather than questioning the decisions that he's made, you've got to kind of praise him and say, well, fair play to you, because it looks like you've made the right decisions.
Yeah, and he's got a coach as well that believes in him, bringing him on with 20 minutes left. When Fulham look like they're in the ascendancy, he clearly has the backing of his head coach.
Yeah, and I always believe actions speak louder than words. I mean, there's an 18-year-old in a pressure situation, they need a goal, and the manager turns to him. So that's, you know, that speaks volumes. As I mentioned earlier, he ran at his man a couple of times. Early on, that first one, you know, there was shouts for penalties, but it wasn't. Again, here he gets his man one-on-one. And feeds it into Luke Shaw, who makes the overlap. It doesn't come to anything in the end, although it is a good chance. But the longer the game goes, he doesn't shirk it. He makes a good run inside there, maybe a little half a second too soon, and just gets snuffed out. But then his moment comes later on in the game, and it's just brilliant to watch. You know, look how wide he is. He's virtually off the pitch there. His first touch is good, and then he drives in. And, you know, I just can't believe this burst of pace.
Yes.
You just never think he's going to get it, and all of a sudden, it's unbelievable. Great pace and a great, calm, composed finish.
Darren?
Yeah, great finish. As I said, I keep watching the replay, and I still don't know how he got there, but it's a sign of things to come. He's making an impact coming from the bench. His starts will come. All he can keep doing is working hard, working with the players that he's got, the manager that he's got, and getting better and better.
He loved the moment. You could see it with that fist to the camera as well.
We'll talk about the youngster in a second. His first goal for Manchester United. But Christian Eriksen was central to that win, wasn't he? And just showing what they haven't had with a player like that not on their starting sheet.
Pure class, isn't he? Yeah. You know, when it's all busy in the last minute of the game, he's the one that can settle things down. He can just take his time. Got a great touch, great awareness. Never really looks phased. You know, he plays the game and he makes it at times look very easy. Yeah. Gets a great goal there from his point of view. He doesn't score that many. He should be double figures, in my opinion. Yeah. I think it's the fact that the job he does for everyone else. Yeah. You know, if you're a player playing alongside him, you just lend the ball because he wants it back. He can bounce balls off people. He's a very intelligent footballer.
And what you don't see done is the distance, what he covers. He's always top three out of his side, probably on the pitch. Every single week, distance covered, breaking up play. You know, he's not going to fly into tackles, but he intercepts. You know, he breaks it up. He's always available. You know, people talk about distance covered. Sometimes you've got to run hard to give. Say if Don's in possession of the ball, Christian Eriksen would always be there to give him an option. You get the ball, he'll be the first person giving you an option. You have to work hard to keep presenting yourself. He's brave. He wants to take it in dangerous areas of the field. Top draw, professional and top draw man.
Fulham will be feeling pretty sore this evening, having lost to both Manchester clubs late on, because in the second half they played well, didn't they? They thoroughly deserved their equaliser because they'd knocked on the door a lot before.
Absolutely, I like them. I don't think they get relegated. I really don't. I think they've got enough. Dan James comes on, he gives them a real threat. Obviously, you know, his one outstanding attribute is pace, and he's got that in abundance. I think Bruno leaves the ball there. He's just a little bit of self-indulgence there, and then they break. William's got a new lease of life. Dan James comes on.
He's to be impressive, isn't he, William?
Yeah, he's been very tidy. And Dan gets inside Luke Shaw. It's poor defending from him. He's shouting at someone, but he needs to have a look at himself because he cannot let James get on the inside of him there. But he was a threat when he come on, you know, and that's what you expect. I think they're a decent side. I really do.
He's got them fit, isn't he? Like Willian coming in fit, you thought, not sure what that signing's going to be like, how that's going to work.
We don't want to load pressure on a young man, but his name is Alejandro Garnacho, and we're going to watch him with a great interest. We don't know what's going to happen with his career, but we like his intent, don't we? We like his purpose.
I've seen a lot of him, and I've seen him live against Sociedad, and what he's got, Mark, he's got aggression about him, he's got something about him. He's played with Messi, he's very lucky, he's played with Ronaldo, lucky young man. Honestly, to learn off those two. But again, who's involved? Christian Eriksen with a weighted pass, with a nutmegged pass. I mean, just to take a little bit of pace off it Then you add the pace and the aggression of this man. I mean, this is why Jadon Sancho was brought in, and he cost 90 million. This kid is...
Look at them flying for the return, Tim. That's brilliant,
and it's the calmness and the finish as well, Mark. Normally, you know, you can get in that situation when you're a youngster, when you haven't scored a Premier League goal, and you can thrash at that a little bit. You can get a little bit excited.
Yeah.
But I like what I see when I even that picture there.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that. He's got something about him.
Yeah. Give it a couple of years, you have new teeth as well. Fantastic. I love the boy. I think he's the nearest thing I've seen to Cristiano Ronaldo. And when he first came in, and we said, don't hide pressure. There's no pressure. No pressure. Be Ronaldo. What's wrong with you?
Ronaldo. Play with Man United.
The reason being, he goes direct. He goes right at the heart of you. If you're playing right back against this boy, if you stand off him, if you stand off against Sancho, who just plays safe, just plays boring, that's a kid who's come in with a huge reputation. This boy puts you on your backside.
The buzzword personality, but he's got
He drives at you, plays 1-2s. He plays with his freedom. And he's had to take some criticism recently from his teammates. Bruno Fernandes comes out and tells the world.
Unfair. Did you think that was unfair?
Absolute nonsense. I think you're absolutely right. Why would you come out? If I was that boy, I know he's a young boy, I would say, why are you telling the whole world about a bad attitude? No one knew I had a bad attitude. No. I'm just going to judge him with how I see him. Judge him how I see him. And then the manager comes out the following week and tells everyone he's showing a better attitude now. Well, in a minute, you're going to count on this boy. Because if you manage him well enough, like Sir Alex Ferguson did with Cristiano, it's your job now. Ten Hag has to look after him, nurture him, know the right time to put him in, know the right time to bring him out, and keep him correct. And I don't think he's got enough good characters around that dressing room. Maybe Bruno needs to look at his attitude and start helping this boy out, because he's a real talent.
Yeah, well, it was a very special goal and a late win.